Alright, so if we look at Narcissist, I didn't quite double my runs from last week. I was at 40, 42, 40 some. Got to 57, got everything to at least a plus 10. Um, and as far as my gear, didn't really get much of any gear that really dropped at all. Um, I did swap out one of the stones on my Onyx amulet. Um, I swapped out the water stone. That was the only one that didn't already have some kind of a beneficial healing effect. So, um, that has a chance to heal an ally. So, a little bit extra. The Earthstone has a shield, and the Bloodstone has a leech effect um, when I do damage. So, basically, when I do damage with Fire Breath, because that's about all the more damage I do. So, and I do tend to use that quite often on trash pulls and um, boss fights when I'm able to. So at least once per pull, I would say on an average dungeon run. So yeah, so as I said, did everything as at least a plus 10. Did some 11s. It was probably the most trying week, I guess would be the word. Some of the groups, I've had more groups kind of just fall apart. Either the tanks didn't know what to do or the DPS didn't know what to do. It seemed like people just tried to skip ahead to the hierarchies um, instead of just gradually working their way um, up to, I imagine, pretty close to 15 to get to 2,000 for the mount. So the first 11 was kind of um, rocky. Second 11 went a lot smoother, and then wasn't able to do a plus 12. If I could have done a plus 12, that would have increased my vault reward. Tried to get to 1500, which will, it's the second achievement um, you can get during the season that will give you the title for this season. Um, couldn't quite get that far. Plus 11, plus 12. Still only had the two FX, so I was surprised it was more challenging. Although things did seem to be hitting harder, like a lot of the AoE effects and um, things like that did seem to be doing more damage. So it's kind of one of those things where you're so used to the trash and the bosses dying um, so quickly that when you actually have to deal with the mechanics, you're not entirely sure what to do. Um, so it gives the appearance as though you're not sure what to do when in reality you're just used to the, like I said, like the boss being dead. I've seen more boss mechanics than I had up until this point. So, um, yeah. On the bright side, I should have a pretty good vault reward. Everything will be the same level, so everything will be an upgrade. Okay, so everything will be 431. If I could have done a plus 12, something would have been a 434. So all of these are an upgrade. It's just a matter of picking the uh, best upgrade. And it's all stuff that is 424. still have my Primalist neck from the Forbidden Reach. I was really hoping there would be a neck piece in here. Okay, well, let's look at the stats. So, haste and versatility. Same thing, but it doesn't have the socket. Does the socket matter? It is extra stamina and haste. So 23, 50, 60. Yeah, it's slightly more haste with the versatility and mastery. I really don't want to take off the haste. Haste, mastery, and avoidance. So I swap critical strike for mastery. So let's look at this here. So if I was to take my chest off, that's what I was afraid of. My critical strike will go down to 19. My pants are part of the tier set, which I haven't gotten another piece of the tier set anyway. So haste would go down to 18. Yeah. I like the direction that my stats are going in, so I want to try to keep this as much as possible. So I need the haste though. Although last week was afflicted, which was affecting your haste, so this week might not be so bad. It is more mastery, it is more versatility. I mean, versatility does kind of help you with healing and everything. So I'd be trading haste for... I'd be losing... None of these are really all that good. Well, on the bright side, the risks are just the same stats. I do lose the socket. I do gain more health, though. Gain more armor, more intellect, more stamina, more haste. It's not taken into account the socket. Once I upgrade it, though. So, might go with the bracers, because otherwise I'll have to shift some stats around, and I really don't want to do that. So, yeah, we'll just go with the bracers. That's fine. It's not ideal, but that's fine. So, let's swap this out here. Okay. That didn't change anything at all. Yeah. Hmm. So now I'm wondering if that was the... Yeah, I mean, everything was... I was really hoping for something that was like 411, or... Like I said, I still have the neck. The Primalist neck from the Forbidden Reach. I guess most of it. Yeah, there's a few things that are 411. I'm going to try to keep the Onyx Amulet for the effects. I think 411 will probably be fine. If I can get 2 plus 11 with the 398 neck, the iL411 ring should be fine. Because it's mostly the effects. So, if I'm able to upgrade everything else, which I should be, I don't see a reason why I wouldn't be. I was hoping for a bit of a bigger upgrade than that, though. So, yeah. I did swap out. I don't have enough crests to upgrade anything. Because I need to do +11s to get the next crest to upgrade things further, and I don't quite have enough to do that. However, the one piece of gear that did drop were these gloves, these hands. So essentially, what I did was the old ones had haste and mastery, the new ones have haste and versatility. So I took one stat and put it into something else. So that I was fine with. Mastery is my highest stat, so that was enough to get my haste back up to 20%, and then gave me a little bit more versatility. Versatility seems to be fine, so um, like I said, I like the direction the stats are going in, so I just want to try to keep them as condensed down as possible and just keep building these up. So, um, yeah. So mastery seems like it's about usually after about 20%, there's not much use in stacking much further on like critical strike or haste. However, mastery you can kind of just keep stacking into depending on what your mastery is. And once I started um, prioritizing my health to make sure I was as topped off on health as possible, um, that also helped healing others. So didn't quite realize that when I started out doing dungeons. So, like I said, versatility is fine. The leech is fine. I'm not completely sure where the leech is coming from. I can't figure out if it's a passive or if it's on something. Um, it might be from the bloodstone. Not 100% sure. But I'm fine with that. So you usually only see leech like on tanking gear. So that kind of somewhat replaced parry when they took parry out of the game. So right now I have the old gloves. To get back to what I was saying, so right now I have the old gloves just to make sure these were going to work. Um, I do have a ring upgrade, which is why I started thinking about the um, amulet. That's where the 419 is coming from. However, the effects, I think, kind of outweigh not immediately changing it out. So if it gets to the point where I feel like I'm lagging behind and it's getting more difficult to heal, I'll swap them out. It's got critical strike and versatility, so it's on par with the stats I already have. So, um, like I said earlier, the Earthstone is giving me a shield, and the Bloodstone is giving me kind of like a leech effect when I do damage with Fire Breath. So we'll stay with that. And Waterstone, I've used it for a few dungeons now, and while it's not while it has a modest effect, it definitely does help. So the other one was the Thunderstone, which had no benefit to healing at all. So I did check recount, and Earthstone and Bloodstone did show up. So I thought that was worth trying to swap out one more for the Waterstone. I looked to see if any of them that I had any kind of a healing effect. And that was about the only one I had that did. I'm not going to go buy stones and hope to get one that has a better effect or anything like that. So this seems to be working. So if I can get the neck replaced, I feel like I'll be in a better situation gear-wise. And if I keep upgrading everything else, which I should be able to once I start doing 11s. 11 and higher will give you the next crest anyway. I think it's the last one you need. I'm not sure if there's another one past that. Um, so this should be fine until 15. So yeah. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that. A little bit shorter video since I can't upgrade anything this time around. Like I said, didn't quite have enough crests for that. Got some, just not enough. I guess I could make one, but I'd like to wait and at least get two so I could upgrade a couple different things. So, yeah. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that, and thank you for watching.